family, what's up? We are back. The War Report. It's your man Ike Jones. I got the crew in here with me. It is facts or nah time. We're going to hit you with these rapid fire questions. Fellas, y'all ready to get started?
Yeah, let's go.
Yes,
let's go.
Facts or nah? JJ Pegues will have 200 all-purpose yards this coming season.
I'm going facts on this one. Listen, Brian Harsin had 250 yards passing to his tight ends in 2020. So my guess is that him and Bobo are going to be able to scheme up a way to get Pegues the ball. Tight ends are coming back. We're finally going to see catches over the middle. I'm going facts. Pegues will have 200 yards receiving on the season.
I'm going nah here. Yeah, we know tight ends could be a much bigger deal in Bobo and Harson's system, but we don't know if Pegues is going to be a tight end. We don't know what he wants to do with that guy. There's a really good chance they could go for the prototype tight ends that we now have on the roster and leave Pegues out in the cold. So I'm saying nah.
Gotta agree with B. I'm going nah here as well. I believe that if we use JJ Pegues in the offense, it'll be for short yardage situations, maybe goal line situations in the red zone. But being the featured tight end in this offense, I don't think that he will be that guy. I do think we will have a tight end who will get 200 yards receiving, but I don't think it's going to be JJ Pegues this season. So I'm going nah on this one.
Well, I think I am going to go facts on this right here. I do think that Pegues is going to be used in multiple ways in the offense. Now, Harsin is known to pull out a few gadgets here and there. He's definitely not Gus Malzahn when it comes to the gadget plays. So I don't know how much, wildcat we're going to see, but I do think JJ Pegues is going to be able to get enough all-purpose yards. Maybe not just strictly, catching the ball, but I do think he's going to get his opportunities, and he's going to go over 200 yards this season. So I'm going to go facts on that one.
All right, fellas, facts or nah? Auburn will be ranked in the top 25 to start the 2021 season.
I'm actually going to go facts here. I think we are just going to barely crack the top 25. I don't know that we deserve to be a top 25 team right now, but I just think that they give a lot of love to the SEC to start the season out. So I think that maybe we crack that top 25, like 24, 25, somewhere right in that range. I'm going to go facts here, kind of reluctantly. Facts.
I'm going facts here as well. And I do think we get a lot of SEC love, but I think Brian Harsin is well respected for doing more with less based on what he's done at Boise. And I think because of that, we get the nod. Also, I'm looking forward to see what new talent, fresh faces we see in the spring. Some people will emerge. We'll probably look pretty good in spring or impressive enough for people to give us that love. And I agree, we do crack the top 25 just barely. I'm going facts here.
I'm going to say facts too. Usually springtime is when coaches get to kind of make their imprint if they haven't done it yet. And there's going to be a bit of, travel around the country. Media likes to visit different places. And when they put those eyes on the new system, the new guys who we haven't seen before, if they're excited, everybody else who has those votes are excited. And just the change in energy alone should be enough to get Auburn into the top 25 for the preseason.
I'm going to go nah on this one. Listen, we haven't been ranked in the top 25 since week 12 of the 2020 season. So, for them to rank us in the top 25, you'd have to believe that we got better. At this point, I can't say really that we got better. We did change a lot of coaches, but we still got a lot of the same players. We got some new guys coming in. Maybe the outlook changes after spring. But right now, I don't believe Auburn is a top 25 team. So I'm going nah on this one.
All right, fellas, facts or nah? The 2018 loss at home to Tennessee was the worst loss of the Gus Malzahn era.
I'm going to say nah. Tennessee may have been the worst team that Gus lost to, but the worst loss was the lead and giving up the lead at LSU that would have broken the longest, most horrible streak Auburn has been suffering. And he gave the game away. We were not outplayed. We were not outgunned. He gave the game away. It was an embarrassing loss. I lost money betting on that game. That was the worst loss
I'm going to go nah here. I agree with B. Will. It was definitely a terrible loss. We just weren't really a great team that season. We were kind of hobbling coming into that game. We were just had an all right record. We should have won. But we looked absolutely silly out there against LSU in 2015. People jumping on Leonard Fournette's back, and he ran all over us that game. That was awful. That was embarrassing for me as an Auburn fan to come back to work the next Monday and hear Alabama fans talking to me. Here, my boss was an LSU fan at the time. It was awful. That was absolutely embarrassing for me as an Auburn fan. I'm going to go and say that LSU loss was just, they didn't even compete that game.
I'm going to go on this one as well. Because disappointing losses became a tenet of the Gus Malzahn era, right? The most disappointing loss to me was the 2020 Iron Bowl, because it was the first Iron Bowl in a really long time we went in where I knew essentially we had absolutely zero chance to win that game. So that was a disappointing loss to me. You know, again, losses like the Tennessee loss always just kind of happen for some reason. So I'm going on this one. Losing to Alabama is always the most disappointing.
Fellas, I'm going to go a full sweep here and say nah. The worst game to me was in 2016, game 1 against Clemson at home, where we looked totally unprepared after a fall camp and offseason. And that game introduced us to the horrid formation, the horrible play known as the Cox Cat.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't know what that was, and that was just abysmal and just embarrassing. That to me was one of the worst losses. Actually, it's the worst loss of the Gus Malzahn era, in my opinion. So I'm going nah here.
All right, facts or nah? Nick Brahms will be the starting center for the Auburn University Tigers in 2021.
No.
That's it.
Enough said.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I am going nah on this one. Unfortunately, we do a little segment called Chop It Up with a Pro, where we chopped up his performance, and it was chop suey for me. So I don't know what to do with that. He looked lost at times. If they can do something with that, that will be one of the greatest comeback stories in offensive line history. Again, I don't think experience is going to mean much in the Harsin era. I think it's just going to be the guy who can go out there and get the job done. They brought some guys in that can compete, so I'm going on this one. I think we replaced Brahms at center to start the season.
You watch me chop it up with a pro. No. Like, let's be real. I'm sorry, Nick, if you're watching my guy. You had a terrible year last year. I think that he can be a serviceable backup, but the starter, I just don't know that he improves enough over one spring or whatever summer. No.
And nah. So listen, I'm not even a tape junkie that Ike is, but I watched that tape, and I don't want to see that anymore. I gotta hope that the offensive line coach, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach look at people going past and through Nick Brahms and say, we don't want any of that, we'll pass. So I'm gonna say nah.
All right, it's that time again. We got the fan question of the week. This week's fan question comes courtesy of Shay_Presley. They ask, Tank Bixby, facts or not, Tank Bixby will be a top 5 running back in school history when his career is over.
Facts. Tank will be a top 5 talent at the running back position. He will not get the years to be top 5 in yardage. It's just not likely, with his first year being a short year where he spent 2 of the games injured. So it's not that he's not good enough to be top 5 statistically. It's just that he won't have the time to do it. Running backs need that time in the NFL. Get out while you can, young man. Leave after a junior year. Go get that money. You'll be top 5 all time, that we saw in an Auburn uniform making moves, but not in stats.
I'm gonna go nah here, and I believe Tank has the talent to actually be a top 5 running back, but I think we tend to forget that Auburn was once considered a running back U, and we have decades of quality running backs, and I can name 10 off the bat who I think are just beloved and were very productive at Auburn. And while I think Tank throughout his career can crack the top 10, cracking that top 5 is going to be a tall order. So I'm just going to go nah here. I think he has an amazing season. And he will be remembered as one of Auburn's top backs. But top 5, that's too steep to climb. Going nah here.
I'm going nah on this one. Finishing with school records usually these days means that you didn't have the talent to jump to the NFL early. And I think that Tank has the talent to jump to the NFL early. So, as much as I think that he has the speed and power of a Ronnie Brown, as well as the shiftiness of a Cadillac Williams, I don't think that he plays all 4 years like those guys did. So I'm going nah on this one.
I'm going to go facts on this, actually. I don't think it's going to have to do with anything with records or anything like that. I think that he is going to be in the contention like Trey Mason was before he gets up out of here for a Heisman Trophy before he leaves the Plains in the next 2 years. And that's going to be enough, along with the talent that he has, to catapult him into being one of the top 5 running backs to ever grace Auburn in that wonderful jersey. Tank, top 5 before you get up out of here. Facts. All right, War Report family, that's another edition of Facts or Not. We appreciate you guys continuing to rock with us. Listen, if you're watching the video right now, you know what you need to be doing. You need to be hitting that like button. You also need to go ahead and hit that subscribe button to make sure you stay locked in with what we got going on right here at the War Report. Outside of that, on social media, you can make sure that you get at us. If you want to be the next fan question of the week, that is hashtag Facts or Not. You need to be adding the War Report on Twitter to make sure that you can get that done. Other social media that we got popping out there, we are the War Report on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you are one of those folks that get on TikTok, TW Report on TikTok. That's all we got for y'all this week. Until the next time, and as always,